Now, Egypt's government deployed tanks around the presidential palace today after clashes with protesters killed 7 people. In Syria, meanwhile, rebels continue to advance on Damascus, prompting concerns that President Assad's regime will respond with chemical weapons. Question: should the U.S. intervene in any of these conflicts? Here now is Mark Ginsburg, former U.S. ambassador to Morocco and former White House Middle East advisor. Welcome back, Mark. Here's the thing. We drew a red line. President Obama drew a red line over these chemicals, weapons of mass destruction. At what point do we have to start bombing them to prevent them from moving and utilizing those weapons of mass destruction? When's that happen?
Larry, the fact of the matter is that I already know that some of those weapons have been moved and they've been put in the hands of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards that are operating in Syria, and also I believe some of it has been sold to Hezbollah. So as far as I'm concerned, there's some of that red line has been crossed. But to answer your question, the fact remains is that if the intelligence report says, as the president and the press reports now have leading us to believe, that precursors have been loaded into those shells, somehow or other we're going to have to incinerate from the air those weapons deposed quickly before Assad goes down like Adolf Hitler in a bunker, where in the end he tries to take the whole country with him.
Just one second one here quickly. No one's advocating intervention in Egypt, but it just seems to me that Morsi is turning out to be a radical. He wants Sharia law to replace the secular state. He is not in favor of personal freedoms. He is not going to have a constitution that favors the kind of freedoms we thought they were going to go for. Morsi's going to be a bad guy, is he not, Mark? We're going to have to contend with somebody who's just on the wrong side.
Larry, are you surprised? Are you shocked? Is anyone should be shocked the fact that the Muslim Brotherhood is finally, after almost 60 years of waiting in the wings, trying to finally seize power, trying to use the levers of power, has bought off the army by candy-coating constitutional provisions to create a military state within a state? I'm not surprised at all.
If he loses the referendum, I hate to interrupt, he's got a referendum. He says he's going to allow the referendum on December 15th.
Right.
If he loses that referendum, which ain't all that great for the Constitution, it's not that great, but if he loses it, do you think he'll overturn it and just hold on to power as a dictator?
Well, I don't think in the end he's going to lose it, because in the end the Muslim Brotherhood has the ground game in control in Egypt. But even let's assume that he loses it. The fact is they'll come up with yet another ploy to overthrow that decision until they ultimately get the constitution they want that imposes Sharia law on the country, consistent with what the Muslim Brotherhood has tried to do since 1928 in Egypt.
Yeah, there you have it. All right, many thanks, Ambassador Mark Ginsburg. Appreciate the update.